Today in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today being Sunday, as you all know that we have started a new series for last fortnight. That series called Thought Leadership Series. Thought Leadership Series, which we are going to have today. Crisis moments create opportunity. Problems and crises ignite our greatest creativity and thought leadership as it forces us to focus on things outside the norm. Thought leadership is fundamental in business today and consists primarily of finding and sharing, create information in a way that attracts and retains. Thought leadership is when a leader's thoughts are being used by leaders to lead others. Thought leadership is influencing a narrative by understanding what needs to be done. A thought leader can be recognized as an authority in a specific field and whose expertise is sought and often rewarded. That can be an expert, a historical figure, or a wise person with worldly impact. In this series, we will be asking straight questions and we expect straight answers from our guest. And today, the topic on this leadership series is news media, good, bad, or ugly. And I would like to introduce, welcome, and honor our guest of today's, who is going to take my straight questions. He is Dr. Mukesh Sharma. Dr. Mukesh Sharma is the former Director General of Films Division of India and also the former Additional Director General of Doordarshan, working for the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting for the Government of India. He has been in the TV broadcast industry since 1992. He won the Best DD Kendra Award in 2001. He was instrumental in changing the fortunes of DD Mumbai and was the #1 regional Marathi Kendra in the country for a number of years. Dr. Sharma is the recipient of several national and international awards for the work done in the film and broadcasting industry. He also holds a PhD in journalism and mass communication. Currently, he is the dean with the School of Branding and Advertising with NMIMS University, Mumbai. He has started his own channel, which is for Hindi Kahaniyon Ka Anokha Andaz recently. Welcome, Dr. Mukesh Sharma on our show. Today in this series, which is called Thought Leadership Series, I will be asking straight questions to you on the topic. And the topic is new media, good, bad, or ugly. And I expect straight answers from you. My first question is, Dr. Sharma, can you just tell us the brief history of news media in India, when and where it started?
Thank you, Dr. Goyal, for that introduction and for inviting me for today's conference on thought leadership, which is a very good idea. I personally feel, and you will get a lot of good people to share their experience and their expertise in this particular domain. Well, news per se, I think, or you can say television per se, or the radio waves per se, sending signals from one medium to other started way back in August 1921, when the Times of India, in collaboration with the Post and Telegraph Department, broadcast from Bombay office a special program for the governor of Mumbai. He was Sir George Lloyd, and the program was called At the Request, and he used to listen it to Pune. He used to stay there. Now, after that, if nothing was done at that time by the Britishers, in 1930, the Indian broadcasting would have completely collapsed or finished. But it was the pressure of the public opinion which gave it a new lease of life, forcing the reluctant British government first to hold the baby and then to decide to keep some monies apart and planned a regular development on a regular basis. And finally, the state monopoly over broadcasting continued for nearly 90 years, I must say, when both GD and AIR, they were in the field, they were the main players on behalf of the government, and everything was under control, and they were the undisputed, unchallenged kings of their area. Of course, there was a lot of hue and cry in the 80s when the television became a total, and even All India Radio became a total mouthspeak for the government at that time working, and that gave the rise that we must have an independent news agency, independent media for people who can give them the right reporting and the correct picture. And that's why Prasar Bharati came into being. But what could Prasar Bharati do is another story. But what has happened during this time, in the 90s, three developments, major developments happened in South Asia, especially in South Asia. First was the demise of communism. Demise of communism when the Russia, USSR, which was Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, it was no more there, and it broke into different countries. And that was one reason. And then the increasing integration of the world market. The world market was also uniting at that time. And the most important thing at that time was happening, the rapid advancement of the communication technologies. And the pace of the progress in telecommunication, satellite and computer technology opened up skies, resulting into plethoras of channels beaming into India. And thereby, by this time, by I can say 2000, the broadcasting line in South Asia, and especially in India, was completely changed. So this was a brief history.
Okay. Dr. Sharma, you mentioned that in 1980s, it was totally under control of that government.
Yeah.
Don't you think today it is not only the Doordarshan or the radio, All India Radio, but also many of the private channels are also under control, directly or indirectly, of the government?
I wanted to answer that later on, but I can give you a little idea. It is not directly, indirectly. See, that there were very clear-cut thing in the 80s when it was decided that the funding is being done by the government of the day. There is no separate funding happening. And like all ministries, INB ministry will report, Doordarshan AR will report to INB ministry. And that was very clear. So there was no question of, but what was happening was, I mean, you also know emergency and other factors in those times. So people felt that the way media is being held in on the lines of Hitler, it may not become a dictatorship totally. So the idea to have a separate body, a Prasar Bharati or a separate system, it was being discussed at that time. As far as today is concerned, today at least Prasar Bharati is there. But then to reach today's stage, which is now 2000, we are in 2021, and Prasar Bharati came into being in 1997. You can imagine nothing happened, nothing moved on behalf of Prasar Bharati. Now, whether the government didn't want them to move, or they themselves did not move, or whatever else happened, but there was a good, I would say, suggestion on behalf of the government and the people that there should be an independent body as a public broadcaster. They will control the news and the programming.
Okay, of that I will come to that question afterwards.
Why this is happening.
Now my question to you is, according to you, what role news media should play in a democracy like India? Because what we are seeing today, what is happening, 24/7 news channels are there, and they are giving the news which are in the interest of the public and many times not in the interest of the public at large. So do you think this role which right now the news channels are giving is good for the democracy, or it is not good for the democracy like our country, India?
See, let me first say what role the news media should play in a democracy, right? The role in a democracy, the news media has a number of overlapping but distinctive functions. The first of them is to inform, educate people, to make intelligent decisions about public policies. People need accurate, timely, unbiased information, because opinions, as you said, they are diverse. They also need access to a wide range of viewpoints also, which we are having. And this role is especially important during election campaigns, when few voters will have the opportunity to see the candidates in person. Instead, they must rely on newspaper and television to explain the issues and characterize the respective position of candidates and their political parties. The second function of news broadcaster, is to serve as a watchdog over the government and elected representatives, as well as the powerful institution in society. Now, by holding a standard of independence and objectivity, news broadcasting media can expose truth behind the claims of government and hold public officials accountable for their action. In addition, in a democracy, if they choose wisely, broadcast media can also take a more active role in public interest debates through interactive television and investigative reporting. Media campaign can be specific policies or reforms they are enacting that can come forward. So if you remember, I don't know, some time back when the government decided to dilute the RTI, the Information Act, They wanted to bring down certain, because I remember I was in the government at that time, and so many queries would come and ask, and sometimes we feel that these are redundant. They have nothing to do. They are just, taking people our time and all that. So government wanted to dilute it, but both broadcasters and newspaper, they came forward and they said, no, sorry, we will not let you dilute. So I would say that was a correct use of power of media worlds.
Dr. Sharma, you mentioned about that the watchdog.
Yeah.
Those journalists who started taking, who wanted to do something, investigating against the government. I'm talking of the present government. There are so many cases were initiated against them. Earlier, whatsoever time, it was never happened, but now it is happening. How you expect that any journalist can do any investigative journalist today, or can act as a watchdog? I can give you multiple examples right now, which you might be also knowing. So I don't think that the watchdog, what you have mentioned, is correct to say, because no government, whether this government or the previous government or the future government, would like that media will be like a watchdog. So what do you say about that?
See, what happened is, as you said earlier, it was not happening earlier. Again, I will report emergency. People were asked to bend, they were crawling.
We are not talking. I understand.
I'm saying that. So there is a genesis of everything. It started at that time. There was only one channel, and this was happening. Now with the plethora of channels here around, and the worst thing, what I don't know if you know, there are no broadcasting laws in this country. There are no laws, and because that is one of the major reasons. And whenever people would like to bring broadcasting laws, government is asking the people, okay, you tell us how you want to go about. No, this is going to be censorship. This is going. So when there is no regulation, when there is nothing, things are going to be like this.
Okay.
That's why we have come to a level.
Okay. So according to you, unless we will not have a watchdog, especially for the media, yes. I will come to that question also after some time. Now my question is to you. Recently, in the last 1 year, the media was showing about the TRP scandal, and so much has happened about the things. Still it is going on, the cases, and one of the very known face on the news media was even arrested. Now, according to you, how big is the role of TRP in news media? We can understand that a TRP is playing a very big role in the entertainment channels, where the value of that particular serial can be judged by the TRPs. But this news channel, how big is the role of the TRP, Dr. Sharma?
See, again, this is related to funding. Now, there are certain things which a private broadcaster, a subscriber, a public broadcaster, a community broadcaster, they have different level playing fields for them. For example, if you are having a channel which is subscribing, where you have paid the money for subscription fees, the channel is not supposed to show you advertisements. Where are the laws? There are no laws to control him to say that, hey, how are you showing this? Or the channel which is a free-to-air channel, most of the news channels are, they are showing ads and they are making money out of it. And also, please understand, creating news is a very sasta, very cheap thing. It's not like serials where you're spending money. You have an OB van, you are parked outside, something is happening, and news, you are not creating, somebody is creating and you are doing it. It's the other matter that now the channels have started creating news, which I'll discuss with you when what I call the manufacturing of news. But otherwise, TRP is very important for the simple reason that with 400 channels around, and everyone wants, in fact, the earlier minister of INB, Mr. Jaypal Reddy, has very clearly said about this, that news media has much more reach now, but less credibility. And he blamed it on travelization, glamorization, sensationalism that the media barons have. In order to gain TRPs, this is what they have done, and to break news. But as I said, in absence of any, again, law, because if you come, I'll come back to everything, the regulations. If there were regulations, the content would have been regulated, the sponsorship, the advertising revenue had been regulated, the viewing pattern would have been regulated, what a child should watch, what an adult should watch. Nothing is regulated in this country. It's a free-for-all.
No, that's true. But Dr. Sharma, TRP plays an important role because they are getting the advertisement.
Yeah.
That is the main issue of yours.
Correct.
So according to you, if this TRP race is such a race, that's why these things are happening because of the TRP. Now, if you recall, not recall, rather, nowadays what TV channels are doing, the news channels especially, they are doing the sting operations. And people also like to see some negative of anybody, or the celebrity or the politician, whatsoever negativity can come. So do you agree that many news channels are using sting operation to increase their TRP? If yes, according to you, is it ethical journalism or not?
Okay. So let me start with this, and you have created given me a little idea. I'll take you a little in the history also. The sting operations, Lalji, are ethically unjust, primarily unjust because they are staged. The depiction violates the cardinal principle of sting operation, which violates and which is supposed to be, you are entrapping people or luring them to commit a crime through monetary inducement, which is prohibited worldwide. And again, as I said, no such law exists in India, and the private broadcasters have started using this to boost their viewership. And
Dr. Sharma, again, you have to go back. Yes.
Again, the premise of private TV news channel, eyeballs, bottom line, TRPs, profits, as you have said, is laid primarily because of, I would say, sting operations. Let me take you back to 2005, where the channels in India coming up and TV was born out of a scandal, which was India TV. The scandal was the sting operation conducted in a Bollywood on casting couch. And the nation at that time was forced to eavesdrop through news channel on sexual escapades of a debauched actor on a Sunday afternoon. The channel in question systematically planned seduction, and therefore they chose a hotel room. They bugged the phone lines, set up the cameras, hid camera phones so that no detail was missed. And once the operation was over, the channel diligently replayed the obscene conversation to ensure maximum TRPs. The scandal raises multiple issues, Lalji, from sexual harassment at the workplace to defamation and the ethics of journalists to the right of privacy. And such snooping acts committed inside hotels are generally connived or abetted, I would say, by the management or personnel of the hotel, which by common implication are presumed to have pledged to protect the privacy of the patrons. To that extent, it is even more serious invasion of the privacy of the individuals. And in the words, I will not name it,
but can you just tell who was the person who owns the India TV?
India TV, Rajat Sharma.
What is he now?
What is he now?
Yes.
He's the editor of India TV.
And?
Maybe owner.
And he's also the member of parliament.
Well, that's precisely.
So it shows. No. My question to you again is, Dr. Sharma, if it is unethical journalism, if it is totally unethical according to you, and if we are making him a member of parliament, and that too not elected, so that we cannot, the blame cannot pass to the public at large. Blame goes to the party who has selected him to be the member of parliament. No, it clearly shows that the government or those.
Lalsa, let's not take one person. There are so many such persons who have a criminal background. Forget this. They have a criminal background.
I am coming to the point, Dr. Sharma. It clearly shows that the unethical journalism, whosoever has done, there are many. I know other parties also have made them member of parliament.
Correct.
So what is the harm? If I will be doing unethical journalism today, tomorrow I will be appointed or nominated in the Rajya Sabha, I will be the most happy person. Why not?
Tell me one, son. Harm is in absence of regulation, in absence of regulatory body. Nobody can blame you because there are no laws. Because there are no laws, tomorrow if you
Mr. Dr. Sharma, it has nothing to do with the law.
Correct.
We have so many laws, our own morals.
Please understand. Again, I think I'll send you next time a 200-page regulations on how to do content programming. I forget about anything. In where it says what is to be shown at what time, what are the watershed times for children, for adults, what is to be shown, what not to be shown. Because in this country, as I said, it's a free for all. So you cannot blame anyone.
Okay. Now, my question to you is, nowadays we have seen the planted stories, planted journalism. Do you agree that the planted journalism is the norm of news channels today?
Yes. Not today. It has happened earlier, I would say. I'll give you an example. It so happened during the time of when the Congress won, when Sonia Gandhi and others, they won, I think, prior to BJP, that was 2005 or 7. And when Sonia Gandhi was supposed to be made the they were saying that she should be made the prime minister of the country, and there was a lot of hue and cry. And Sushma Swaraj and others, they came out openly and said that if she is made, she's a foreigner, we'll not accept it. Now, do you remember? I still remember a story. A man he climbed up the tree, put a gun on his head, and said that if she is not made, I will kill myself. And he was a guy, let me not say from which party, but this was all manufactured. So
No,
it
but
has started since that time. It is not today.
My question is not that, Dr. Sharma.
No,
question
manufacturing is happening, sir. Manufacturing is happening, which is wrong.
No, question is not that. Which party?
Hello, you're stuck.
Suppose somebody has done wrong, it doesn't mean that we will also do the same thing. We are doing right now also. It is now, see, earlier you have given one incident. Nowadays, you see in each and every day, we are coming across. Recently, what happened in Ghaziabad? Now I'm coming to the point. When you are talking about that Mrs. Gandhi's incident, now I'm coming to Ghaziabad. Now, they says that the accused says that he was selling that tabiz or whatsoever things, and that's why they have beaten. While those who were there, they says no, we never have this thing. It is a carpenter thing. Now, one version was given that was shown on the media. I am asking you, how the media, like today we are talking, tomorrow one case will be filed against me that what Dr. Sharma has mentioned about that particular person is totally wrong, and you have promoted this thing. How am I responsible, Dr. Sharma? I'm not talking of the laws or rules or nothing. Where is the law which says that a media, now I'm talking, it's a live program. What you are talking, it is live telecast. And if you are saying something which is defamatory to someone, it is, according to it, is not defamatory. But the cases will be filed against you. I can understand because you have uttered. But how the media will be responsible? No. So don't you think media has been made?
Yeah, first of all, Lalji, please understand there are three types of privacy. There are three types of privacy. The first is right of private individual. This category entitled the highest degree of privacy subject to reasonable restrictions. Second right of privacy is celebrities and public figures. This category is entitled to minimal privacy, particularly in public issues, but even they are entitled to private. And the third is privacy of criminals, terrorists and anti-nationals. And this does not need any privacy. So if there is a public figure, there is no question of privacy. Nobody can say that. You are supposed to talk about it. You cannot say that somebody
Dr. Sharma, I think there is no law. You are right. What you are saying is 100% right, that there is no privacy, and there is a Supreme Court judgment that one can say in a decent way, not in a obscene way, for the celebrities or those who are a public figure.
So what I said here was manufacturing of news. I'm saying news is manufactured. It was manufactured earlier. It is manufactured now.
Okay. So according to you, some controlling body is required, which you mentioned, but you say that the public and the opposition parties, whether today or yesterday, because we know that in emergency the opposition party made a hue and cry that why the censorship is placed. Now this opposition party is also I know that when Mr. Kapil Sibal brought one law about the controlling the digital media, everyone, including the present government people, were against that no, we don't want any censorship. Don't you think that autonomous body like CEC, the Chief Election Commissioner, required to control the news media? Today what is happening, you have your own body, self-governing, self-assessment or self-regulatory body, which is toothless. There's nothing. But if you have a independent autonomous body where the CEC been like a CEC, the entire power with them, they will assess without partiality to anybody. Although nowadays the allegations on CEC and election body, we have seen in the Calcutta, this West Bengal elections, but still they are, if not 100%, but 19%, they are impartial. So if we will have such type of body, do you think government of the day, whether this government or the previous government or the next government, will accept such type of suggestion? Because unless this body will not come, how they will control? Yes,
this body was, that's precisely, Lalji, what has happened was the Prasar Bharati, which was supposed to work independently, and I'm telling you on records right now, Prasar Bharati, they have given their independence autonomy, but only as far as programming content is concerned. They were supposed to provide this for the news content too. Now, do you know today the news is still under the control of INB ministry? The news people who are controlling it are from IIS, Indian Information Service. So any government of the day is there. They are going to report to that government, right? Which nobody wanted that Prasar Bharati. But somehow it did not work. It is a bad luck. So that is why BBC is today, independent and working properly, because it doesn't report to the government, it reports to the parliament of the day, which means there is a separate body, and the funding also comes separately from the parliament, from the cake as a budgetary provision to BBC. In India, we have not done that provided. At least we should have a watchdog in terms of a person which is independent. The parliamentarians together, whether they are opposition or the government, they should be controlling it. But unfortunately, as I said, in absence of any laws, you have laws for everything, but you don't have media laws here. Everything is, no, you try and be good, you manage. It is not happening. Because plethora of things, technology came up so fast, by the time we could sit and write the laws, we were left behind and new things were coming. And now I'll tell you, forget all this. Your TV itself, you are doing everything today on a streaming platform. Am I right? You don't need even a satellite. You don't need even a cable, or you don't need a tower terrestrial. So where do we go from here? Television people are going to forget. But the content power of it will continue, whether it is a X channel which is taking up or a Y channel, that will continue.
No.
Who is going to regulate that?
That you are 100% right. But the thing is, unless there is a confidence in the media or the news channel in particular, that there is somebody who is impartial. Everybody knows the Information Broadcasting Ministry, all the officers cannot be impartial with whichever government. Let's be very frank. It's not the question that they will be impartial. They will be giving something which is against the government. No minister, no officer, how big he is, can give anything unless he is having, as you mentioned, the mandate from the parliament to act as independently, like the Supreme Court or like the CEC. So unless we will not. But why is this the lack intentions of the government or the media houses who are not interested that they have this type of agency? After all, it is not like this. When we are coming out with new laws, you said the time is not there, that we are coming new laws. IT's laws have come. We have summoned everybody, and all have come crawling down to the government. So there is nothing like that. We can, if we have a will.
Please understand. Anything which is extreme also is not acceptable. When I am saying rules, it means the rules, especially content production. IT laws are there, no doubt, but what is being produced and also for what category? Ours is a multi-diversive society. We have all types of people here. We have Hindus, we have Muslims, we have Jains, we have Buddhists. What programming are we thinking about? We have children, we have middle-aged, younger lot. There is a different thing for everyone. It is just not because you say you are not going to show this or show that, it won't work. That's why somebody had to sit down like Dr. Ambedkar did and they wrote that constitution. You need a constitution for information technology, broadcasting in this country itself today. How we should go about, which is now too late. I would say the cat is out of the bag. It is very difficult, the genie, to put it back now. And unless the government, and whosoever the government is, tomorrow another government may come, they will control it the same way. Because it is not going to work. Nobody is interested in controlling, the things. Somebody should control them. Nobody wants it.
Okay. Now my next question to you is, do you agree that news media house says and politicians connive with each other, and it is becoming ugly day by day? It is good or bad for news media in long run? Now I will give an example. See, in India, if we compare with USA, we have seen how Mr. Trump was having a hate and love relationship with the media. He was having very good relationship with the Fox News, while he was having a bad relationship with news like CNN News, etc. And he used to, but the media have never lost their power. They were having full power. They used to ask the question. They were asking the question and they were broadcasting that question openly. Indian journalists, either they are spineless, or the media houses owners, they made them spineless, so that they cannot ask to the government, whether it's a central government or the state government, We have seen how the media channels, local regional media channels in a particular state which is governed by the opposition, they have no courage to ask anything from the chief minister or their actions. They cannot show any story where they can show in a bad news, otherwise they will be raided tomorrow by the police. And similarly, if anybody would like to show anything against the central government, he will be raided by enforcement department or income tax department. So everybody is having a fear. Why not this? And that's why the politicians and the news channels have now hand in hand, because they feel, I cannot show anything against you, but if I will show something that good for you, you are going to pay me. Do you think this is good for the long run, or it will be like this forever?
In one word, it is crime.
So according to
rest you have already said. I said it is crime. You cannot join hands with such people, with such thing. You will never be able to end up, as a viewer, I will never know what is right and what is wrong. I will never get the right picture, the news which I'm supposed to get. And a journalist, as you're supposed to provide me. So this is happening. I can give you 100 names here who are owning newspapers and publishers, and they have become member parliaments for a particular party. Others, they are nominating them. So that is there, they are controlling. Even the big production houses, they have their monies in it. Even your new channels which have come up now, news channels, I won't name them, they have the monies of the politicians in it. So we all know, and everyone knows this, because information is power. And that's why the most powerful ministry is information broadcasting.
Or in other words, most corrupt ministry.
I say, see, powerful, you can be corrupt, you can be honest also. You cannot, you don't have to be corrupt to be always.
Power corrupts man, and absolute power corrupts. Correct. Absolutely.
No, not at all. I was most powerful here, but what corruption I did, you can tell me. It's just that there were instances you will find people who are powerful, but no corruption has been done. You see, power, no doubt, it comes from the people itself. And if I can return that power in the people without filtering it, without doing anything, why not?
Okay. So according to you, but again, I am coming to, you have quoted about BBC. You have, see the moral of BBC, they have done a wrong story on Princess Diana. And they started, the investigation started when it was supposed. And they apologized. And they have mentioned openly, yes, we have done wrong. And the person who has done, he has to resign and whatnot. In India, nothing has happened. We have seen a very, very senior journalist who is very famous in news media. He has mentioned, and his as it was everywhere, that he was celebrating of some, which was, I cannot say, but you all know, those things which is anti-national activity. And he was celebrating. Everybody saw. And no action, no apology, nothing. So don't you think our news media channel has become morally bankrupt today?
See, within a year, within a decade, I would say the television news wing will be left for 1/4, I would say. If 100 people are watching today, 25 will watch tomorrow. Number one. Number two, technology has played also a very big role in the entire thing, where anything and everything can be immediate. Accuracy doesn't have to take at all. Immediacy can immediately take, and that is the reason everyone is keen to come on that bandwagon. They are not interested. That's why my from beginning until the debate right now, I'm telling you, if we do not have certain laws, every law they can break, no doubt they will come out with ideas, whether and especially with news media, where it goes like, it's a floodgates are open within no time. An earthquake happens in Indonesia, and within 5 minutes, I'm aware of what has happened, what was the Richter scale, who all are affected through the new media. And that is why it is all the more important for the government and the people to ensure that somehow we should tame this media. We should try and bring it to a proper and use it in a proper perspective, rather than using it the way we are using it now. It is really sad, sir. It is really sad.
But Dr. Sharma, you were on the head of affairs of DD Metro in Mumbai. At that time, I also recall, because at that time I was in Mumbai, we never have such type of complaints about, I will say, activism, if we will use the sophisticated word, or the other word, yellow journalism, not at all at that time. Or in other way, do you think the regional channels are far better than the national news channel? I'm talking of news channel.
See, it is not like this. I'll tell you. Please understand what is news for you and what is news for me. First of all, the definition of news is something happening very close to me will have my attention more than what has happened in USA or in Delhi and anywhere. So the regional channels will always be, now whether they are doing a right or wrong is something, but they will always pick up news which is closer to me, and which naturally I'll be more interested. So once they find number of people are watching such news, they will be ensuring it that let's give them a news which is balanced, which is correct, so that, and that is why what you are saying is correct. Yes, they are doing a better job than the national.
If you recall, in one of our earlier media conference,
Yeah.
you mentioned that today, if anything happening down
Yes.
of my window, everybody would like to see that. But
Correct.
if any intellectual discussion is going on, nobody is interested. So do you think it is not we cannot blame only the media, we cannot only blame the government, we should also blame the public at large, because if the customer wants something, if the viewers want something, you have to give the same thing. What the media is doing the same thing, then why we are blaming the media only?
No. I agreed. But if, as I said, if I have a content which is, this is what I'm going to show and nothing else, who can then catch me? Because I'm the one who is supplying it. Na? If there are only apples in the market and there are no other thing, I'm going to buy those apples. I'll buy it. So
but if there is some bananas also available, then what you will do?
Precisely. So that is why somebody will have to take a call on this. How do we go about in terms of saying that this is good and this is bad? That good and bad part of it has to be taught from the childhood itself when you're teaching media to the students. You have to tell them at that time that what is value education, what is, what is nationalism, these are the things which today nobody talks. I'm a dean right now, sir, right? And if you ask me, and if I tell them that this has happened in the past, they do not know that what were the foot soldiers during independence. They do not know how we got our independence. They are not aware of this, right? People, 20 years old student, they have no clue of our genesis as Indians. How have we come to this place? Forget about others. And this is the one who going to take off tomorrow.
Dr. Sharma, when you are mentioning about the independence and this, right now I'm doing, and you appeared on my program of the Kal Aaj or Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang, in which many of my guests mentioned that what you are doing, even when they are narrating their childhood memories, they says our children and our grandchildren are not aware about these things.
Correct.
So when the values were not been given to the own family, that how the family, how the struggle the father or grandfather has seen, the values cannot come. And in a bigger scope, if we will see, then definitely like independence and whatnot, and even the earlier wars, etc. Okay, now my question to you is, nowadays news media is more active on social media. If you see all news media, just put a clipping, whichever a controversial news, something which some minister has given some statement, they pick and choose, or some opposition party has said something, and they just put it in the social media, because a TV channel is showing, but they will put that things. And that now I want to know, what are your views of news media using social media platform to promote yellow journalism? Because see, if you will not understand the complete news, and you are just giving a clipping one side story or something which is with you can say salt and pepper, don't you think it's like a yellow journalism?
Of course, why not? What you are saying is absolutely right, Alji, for the simple reason. See, what happens is, I don't know if you how the new media or the news media works. In a conventional television news, there is a system. The news is short, the news brings it down, it is sent through, whatever wave you want, you send it, then it is edited, anchoring is done, shots are done. So it takes a little time, and then finally at a particular time you can watch that news. But with the new media, all this have now gone for a toss. And in the present times, it is immediacy over accuracy that has taken over. Everyone wants to be the first. So they don't want to go into the details. I'll give you an example how the new media is helping the journalists. New media journalists, online journalists. See, take an example of a news conference which is happening of auction of IPL. Simple example. Now, if you or me, if you are running a website, we will immediately alert everyone concerned that this is happening regarding, and this will be through mobile, SMS, Twitter, and social network. So from immediacy perspective or communication point of view, what you are trying to tell everyone is that this is your story and you are making the mark. This can be any story. Now, in terms of search engine optimization, which is SEO, Google will give you extra weightage for your story. It will push you and it will tweet about it. People will talk about it who are interested, and suddenly the communication network will be alive with it. So basically, we are talking about the early start that you have given and set the ball rolling. Now, if it is a story which you have concocted, which you have given to people, which is not good or yellow journalism, it will also go on the same lines. The way it goes, and by the time it goes to people today, please understand, Lalji, you are both a paper boy as well as a journalist. You are not there, you're going down and selling it. You are immediately making the story and sending it on the new media platforms. So because of all this, with Vox Pop and interviews and further stories getting more dimension, people are talking about it further, and suddenly it becomes a big story. By the time you want to pull out that story, it is already embedded in the minds of people. It is unlike your even newspaper days or television days, I would say, where you might give a wrong story and you may say, sorry, it was wrong, or you give it even a small thing on a last page of a newspaper. Today, it is very difficult because with the social media, and there's so many platforms, the stories at so many places, it is very difficult to control it now. That's why, again, coming back, regulations, regulations, and regulations. We need there some regulations, some methods, even for the new school boys, because they do not know. If I don't teach my students how to send the story, what not to send, actually, I should make them learn rather than what to send. Then maybe you will have something interesting.
Okay, now you have mentioned about what not to send and to send. Recently, rather, you have, I still remember that one of the program where the youth were there and you were there, and you have raised one thing which you have mentioned, that recently many news channels have shown the dead bodies floating on Ganges, or
Correct.
they have been burning from the COVID or whatnot. And according to you, it is not a good sign to show, it's not a good journalism to show these types of scenes on the national channel, because it is working day and night, and after all, the childrens are going to be affected. Do you still stand on it? And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
yes, then why?
No. From day one, I have been saying that there are certain pictures which needs. Why do you write a disclaimer after your mail when you send? Is the television giving a disclaimer? Is the television, per se making me ready to see that picture? Okay, the following visuals are going to be this. At least that courtesy they are not doing. They are not even, trying to, I would say, defocus certain areas which is not good for me or for the health of my child. So who is going, again coming back? Because there is no regulation about it, so it's free for all, which is ethically not correct. If suppose they could tomorrow they start showing naked pictures of everyone in the public media, forget about I'm talking about the pornography. You will say it's okay. What is the harm? You have in Sweden, you have in Denmark, you have everywhere, so it's okay here. Are we ready? My question is this. I'm not saying it is good or bad.
Okay.
Are our people ready? Most of the time, we are not ready for this thing because we again have very, very diverse society.
I think you require a glass of water, Dr. Sharma.
No, it's okay.
Please.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I have to ask a straight question, and I'm happy that you are giving me straight answers. Now, my next question to you is, do you agree that OTT platform will play a very important role in the history of news media? If yes, please explain how.
So first of all, understand when we say OTT, all platforms which are on running through streaming by way of streaming Wi-Fi, like right now, your platform is on an OTT, right? Now, again, it is up to the people, whether it is programming, historical program, or a program which is entertaining or news. It has already started playing. It is not tomorrow, sir. It is happening today. That's why you find today what has happened is a 3-minute or a 2-minute news on a small media platform on a OTT gathers my attention faster than a news which will come at 8 o'clock, which I'm not interested, for two reasons. One, right now also there is no censorship on OTT, on these medias. Whosoever is doing it on his own level. There is no binding. Two, it is available immediately. You don't have to wait for that news. Third, it is interactive. You can send a message, you can receive a message on that news, you can talk about it, right? So it has taken up. It is just not over the top. It is already there. You don't have to say that tomorrow it will take up. It is already there, because during this COVID times, we were half the time busy on watching on what is happening on other platforms other than television or Tata Sky. Who watches Tata Sky today? You tell me now. Gradually, people are moving on to OTT. And when people are moving, they will take their bag and baggage, whether it is a baggage of programming, historical or print or news, anything, they will take it to that platform.
No, I agree with you, but at least in the television news, some control is there. Somebody is checking, as you said, that producer, director, or news. But in OTT, tomorrow, I can also show, anyone can show, whether it's a news, fake news, or the real news, nobody knows. And then it is circulating.
Lalji, first of all, there is no news in television. It is only views. We have seen that stop news one by one, it would come news headlines. This has happened there. Prime Minister has gone there. Bombay has done. No. 3 people sitting talking, only views. So we are also not interested. They are also not interested, because that helps them to make the TRPs. So as far as fake news and other things are concerned, there are systems which are coming up, which are trying to cut that fake news immediately, trying to settle it. But when there is a manthan, so it is the poison which comes out and the nectar which comes out. Social media also comes out with some good things. Some bad things are there. But time will tell. Finally, it will settle down. And it depends what prevails, whether the poison or the nectar.
Have you ever faced the copyright issues when you were heading the Doordarshan, that you have shown something which was under the copyright, and you have been served notice that you have done wrong, you should have taken the permission?
What has happened, as I said, because we worked in a very regulatory media, the first thing as a director, I would get a copy handbook of do's and don'ts. This is what I can show, this I cannot show. This is what is the timing. So for that matter, Doordarshan and other, because we picked up everything from All India Radio. When All India Radio had a very clear-cut, rules and definitions of everything. So if we have made mistake, it would have been unintentional. There were never an intentional mistake on that.
No, because you might be knowing this about the recent controversy of the Twitter with our law minister, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, where Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad unintentionally, as you use the word, use one Mr. A.R. Rahman song, and that too not now, some years back. And for that, the notice was served and the Twitter has to suspend the account for 1 hour, but it was suspended and it has become a news, very, very big news. Today only, or the yesterday only, the clarification has come. This has been done like this. But till the time, for last 3-4 days, when this news was broken, it has been shown that the Twitter has done intentionally. Now, what Twitter has done is, basically, there is as you might be knowing, this systems that they have all automated system that once the notice is served, that they will do automatically, everything will be done. They are not knowing, but there is a notice has come and they have. Do you agree that these types of powers to be snatched away from all those media, those platforms, and it should be that whether there is a contravention of any copyright or not, they have no right? Because in democracy, what right I am enjoying, the same right the prime minister or the minister is enjoying. They have no extra rights as far as the privacy is concerned. And you also mentioned the same thing, that they are public figures. So do you agree that now no such type of laws, copyright laws especially, to be allowed when one can play the music or the songs of any picture or any music director without taking permission?
Yeah, especially in music area, Ralji, there is a lot of happening, and they have been saying, especially Javed Akhtar and other people, that forget about this. Even a lot of things, when the music has been recorded, they have been paid. They don't get royalty the way others get, and it's all one time. So they wanted as a concurrent that it should continue. All that is there, but as I said, see, Ravi Shankar Prasad would not have made that thing, whatever the program, because I've not seen it. It would have been done by somebody else. But in any case, at least on YouTube, since I'm running my own channel, if by mistake I have put up some thing, they would immediately warning would come. Okay, that you kindly reply or remove it. Like my own programs, couple of programs, other people have put on YouTube from Doordarshan. So they have said, do you want them to be removed? You want to tell this, but there is a lot of, hierarchy involved in that. But what I'm saying is you cannot just go ahead and say that I'm blocking your account because you have run this. No, even, the law has to be such that you need some time to clarify it. I may have paid money for that thing. Is the music director saying that this has been done without my thing? All these things are there. I mean, that discussion part. So if Twitter, as you said, has blocked it for 1 hour without, since I don't know the story, I'm just,
All right, you can go through it. It has come in the media today.
Okay.
Anyways, now my question to you is, what are your views on breaking news? Do you agree that in the present time, when everyone is in hurry and they don't have time, they just want to know in a very, very fast way? We have changed our style of living. Lifestyle has changed. Earlier, we used to sit, have a very comfortable lunch or dinner. Nowadays, everybody is picking up from the fast food eating. Similarly, they want to be served the news as a fast food, and they want to have breaking news. They just say, oh, what this thing has happened, this thing has happened. But the breaking news are according to you, is it boon for the viewers, the breaking news?
So first of all, you tell me a news which comes from television, that you call it a news, or me sitting here and if something has happened and I cover it and I upload it on the platform, will that be a news? Can that also be a news or not? Right.
No, but
so we have citizen journalists each and every nook and corner today. Unlike where you had a particular journalist to do things. What television does it does give me a little idea as to which side, the things have happened, a little more detailish, nothing else. But today, anyone can produce news, sir, within no time by sitting here right now. Even if I'm talking to you and I want to upload news and then I want to send it, as I said, on Snapchat, on Twitter, on WhatsApp, it can go within no second. It is there with you. While I'm talking, the news can be with you. So again, we need to learn. Are our people, as I said, ready? Are our students ready to understand the importance, what to show, what not to show? So this is going to be, so we'll come back to the same thing again and again, because the roots which we are supposed to strengthen them by way of education is not done enough.
But don't you think that, okay, the laws are not there proper, or there is no authority according to you, and it's there?
No, even learning is not there. My own learning student does not know. He may unknowingly do it. Forget about laws.
Okay. Do you agree that the news media should filter the news before broadcasting? If yes, how?
No, when you say filter, what do you mean by filter? You want me to tone down it? Or you want to say that?
Like you have mentioned about the dead bodies.
Yes.
Now it's a news media the responsibility to seek at these dead bodies. I should not show. So instead of showing, they can remove them. They can mention verbally, but they should not show the visuals. Do you think such type of filtration is required?
Very much, because unless people are ready to watch something, you cannot show them. See, why you have today worldwide, why do you have gradations of film? This is A, this is AU, this is this. Even forget India, other countries do have. What is good for one may not be good for other. He may not be ready. Again, I'm using the word ready to understand it. So you need to have those demarcations very clear. So till such time you don't have, at least tell your people, be ready. This is going to come. Now you don't want to watch, you can close it. Okay. But you just put up something in front of me without, taking care that whether who is watching it, it'll do more harm than good.
Okay. Now my next point is about the paid news.
Yeah.
Do you agree that the paid news, advertisement, sponsorships, etc., are the main reason for decline of the standard of news media? If yes, then what news media houses should do for sustaining themselves?
See, Lalji, I told you earlier also, which coming back, there is, on the road, you have a very clear demarcation for a pedestrian. You have for a road for a cyclist. You have for a heavy vehicle. So you have laws very clear how is going to use the road and how are the whole ecosystem will work vis-a-vis transportation on a surface transport. Right, sir? Do we have such thing here where, when I said in the beginning, a private broadcaster, which is beaming to me through DTH, which means I have paid for it as a subscription revenue. Why should I watch advertisement on that. They have no business to show me when I'm paying it for subscription. The laws are there abroad. We have not started. A free-to-air channel, which is purely running on free-to-air and the mercy of advertisers, not on subscription revenue. Everyone is available to everyone. Why he should not have ads only? It is not there. Some are having, some are not having. So because again, the clarity vis-a-vis who is what, who is delivering, what is the delivery mode, unless that is qualified, the funding will not be clear. When the funding is not clear, everyone wants to have a pie. Okay, I'll pay for it, you do it. Go to a railways, you don't get reservation. Okay, I'll pay for that seat, you do it. Is it correct? It is not correct. What you said, it is. But again, in absence of laws, this is continuing.
Okay. Do you think journalists are overambitious? To beat others, they are using unethical means. I will tell you, and if yes, what is the remedy? But before that, I would like to mention one recent happening last year, the Sushant Singh case.
Yeah.
They without knowing or knowingly, because the journalists are either overambitious or some ulterior motive, they try to malign one person or two persons or three persons without going to in the deep the case. And today what happened? Ultimately, one of the media house has to mention very clearly that we will not do anything now about, we will not defame the Bollywood stars, etc. Why we have to come to that stage that in your time, have you faced such type of cases in the high courts that somebody has gone, that Doordarshan has defamed me? After all, you were also heading the news channel.
As I said, because we had clear-cut guidelines. So we were more than careful, like Caesar's wife, above suspicion. We never wanted to make any mistake. As I said, intentionally never. Unintentionally, as I said, we may use somebody's song and then somebody would have reprimanded us and giving a, on our knuckles, why did you use it? That is a different thing. Otherwise, we have never, tried to do, or suppose we made a program and a particular music director's name did not go on it. He must have complained to the minister. Program in my case, it has happened. I'll not name the person. And a lot of hue and cry. The director was transferred to that Kalapani. So all this has happened, but again, as I said, unintentionally, there was never such intentions to, and we have never glorified also neither deaths nor births like this. The glorification which has
and now one thing which has come is you are glorifying the death of a person who was now very clearly involved in drugs.
Correct.
And we had the anti-drugs day yesterday, and involved in other things. So are we not glorifying somebody, and it is giving a bad impact to the young generation?
Lalji, my please understand with folded hand, is my student today understanding all this? Are we talking about it is he who is going to be the tomorrow journalist? My problem is he is not reading those things. He is not understanding. Today, even that in the system assurance of learning, what I call is AOL, am I assuring that when he comes out of the college, he will be this? No, I'm not assuring, because the entire learning in a different direction altogether.
So don't you think we are harming the generations?
We are equally responsible, sir.
We are responsible. We are harming the generations, and the news channels who are doing this are, without whatsoever the reason is, are harming the generations of the country, the youth, the young generation. And no one is talking about that.
That is the problem. That is where I started this little thing of mine called Kahaniyon Ka Anokha Andaz on YouTube.
That one, I thought that I will be coming.
Just started. The reason of starting was that okay, this is happening. This may all be a very small thing, but please give it a thought what I'm talking. And then it made to people who matters. Anyway, you can talk about it later, please.
Yeah. Now, still, see, I am not clear till now. You are mentioning about the laws. You are still saying laws. And you are saying it's a crime. Now, crime is committed by a person where he is flouting the law. He is a criminal. Even the laws are there or not, if we are doing something unethical, immoral, intentionally, because news channels today, you have mentioned many times, everybody, and I know that whenever I'm talking to the people, they say, nowadays we are not watching the news channel.
Yes.
We just see some serial or something. We are not interested to the news channel.
I told you also,
Earlier-
within 10 years, it's going to be over. Television
Earlier,
news.
earlier the news channel were like a very, very important thing in the life. We used to wait when we were child. We used to wait to listen on the radio, Akashvani news at 9 p.m. or whatsoever the time was. And then when the Doordarshan started, we used to wait. And our parents used to say, please listen to the news. How good English he is speaking. You learn from the way the news person who is speaking, who is announcing.
Yes, the
Today-
diction, the pronunciation, everything was taken
Everything.
care.
Today, there is no pronunciation. There is faulty English because there is nothing except the shouting, except the sledging match, except that I am better than you.
Yes.
Upmanship. So, do you think that this is whose responsibility? Why we cannot blame the government every time?
No,
After all, this is a civil society.
Correct,
We
correct,
all are
correct.
responsible for this.
So let us go back to from where we are churning out these journalists. The schools of journalism, are they tweaking their courses? Are they trying to change it with them? The people who are teaching them, because I have seen it the entire. Are they working on themselves? A teacher learns, create, and then make them learn. It is not happening. So when this is not happening, you are churning out people. I remember long time ago, they used to come to me and ask questions, the young journalists, and I would say on a conference, whatever has happened. Ha sir, boliye. I said, what? Whatever has happened? I said, but ask me a specific question. Because they don't know, they said, you take a camera, you take a mic, go there, take a bite and come back. So when we have not created people who can bring out something worthwhile, very few, I would say, the schools of journalism are doing the good job. Otherwise, en masse, people are just, and with everything available today on YouTube, you can learn everything. You can learn journalism on YouTube today. Who is stopping you?
Now, when you are talking of a school of journalism, my question to you is, you can enlighten us whether the school of journalism is also giving the internship, asking the students to take the internship with the media houses for 6
Yes.
months of 1 year, and then take the exam, whether like in the medical or other field, or even the MBAs, they have to go for an internship for a particular time, and then are you doing that in the school of journalism?
Say it depends, because where I am working right now, we don't have journalism. It's a school of branding and advertising, and we do send our students for internship. And as I said, there are 4 things which any company would like to know. 4 things after learning. Number 1 is, and I call it CASH, K-A-S-H. K is, what is the knowledge that the student has acquired? A for attitude. What is the attitude he has? He may have a good knowledge, but he has a bad attitude. And then S for skill. Has he learned the skills of broadcasting? Has he learned the skills of news reporting? And H is habits. Is he disciplined? Is he not disciplined? Is he angry? These are the 4 things as a teacher I must ensure while I am assuring learning to these people. But how many of people are doing it? Because it is me who's creating a climate of learning here as a faculty. Unfortunately, sir, it is not happening to that level.
So that is what, because why I'm saying, recently there was a 16th anniversary of V4 News, which is one of the media who is showing this our program today, telecasting, and their 16th anniversary, and there I have a chance to discuss this very specific points with the chairman and managing director of the V4 News. I asked the same thing. How come your success story, when you have started from the cable thing, and now you have become so big, and with a full respect, it is not exaggerated because they are doing our show that I have to say, but it is
Correct.
Everybody knows. And his answer was that first thing is that we have decided to be impartial. Try to be sometimes 5%, 10% here and there. And he says, because people are giving us news, we are giving only those things which are required. I asked that then the question, are you facing any pressure? Well, yes, pressure comes, but it is up to us. And then initially when we resisted, today everybody knows, the administration knows, the politician knows that this channel is not going to succumb against the pressure. So we are not interested in that, and nobody is going to come us for to put any pressure. And he also mentioned one thing. He says that in our channel, in last 16 years, we have trained about 800, 900 students, out of which about 300 plus students are working in all the top channels, whether NDTV, Times Now, etc., as a journalist. Now, my question to you is, do you think that these types of channels who have some credibility, who has done such type of work, can be a very good feeders to or the students who are coming from the school of journalism?
Sir, I would say let us go back a little. The feeder can start even at the 10th grade, 11th or 12th, what we did with the Rhine International Schools. Their students are doing certain programming which is news based. They are creating news. So if I start at that level, that person also will be very keen whether I should opt for journalism or broadcast journalism or marketing of broadcasting or selling of whatever it is. That is the time, because there is it's a very huge landscape, the entire thing. But yes, as I said, and as you have said, if there are people who understand the ethics, who understand the norms, who understand the value system, who understand what should be, what is good and what is not good for the society, for people at large in our country, who understand the variety of this nation. First of all, there are sentiments, different sentiments, all are not at same yardstick. Everyone is not rich, everyone is not poor. There are so many in between gray areas. So if people can understand it, then I'm sure the reporting would be to a level which will not be harming anyone.
Do you think that the journalism course should be started in the curriculum?
In the
It could
school,
be
yes.
include in the
Yes.
school level only?
Yes, in the school level, like physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, media, journalism, media study has to be at a very early stage. I see now.
Because right now I think it is in the for the graduation level.
No, it should start, because today the child is moving around with this left phone where he can create anything. So why not sort of give him some direction at the beginning itself?
So any move from your side, from your school, or from your being, because you are a person, a towering personality, you have a say. Whenever you say something, it's taken very seriously, whosoever the government is. Have you ever thought, or have you tried to send these type of suggestions to the government? Ki why not start this from the primary school or from a secondary school, so at least the children know how to use. And as you mentioned very clearly,
so through your platform, I would like to tell to those people who matters, who understands, once again, that Doordarshan has got all over the country lot of studios which are lying idle, right? Lying idle, nothing is happening, they're just closed down. Now if people like your television, or somebody who feels that this is an upright television, or it's a television which talks, doesn't mince words, or doesn't have anything which people may not like, can start training in these studios, Doordarshan, and those people can give together certificates, and then they can understand what is broadcast news, because the broadcast journalism is a very different line, and people are doing it only the masters and not even undergraduation. So this can be done in all the studios all over the country, which are right now closed or lying idle. Nothing is happening there. Some fees can be charged by Doordarshan or the person who is holding hand. The people can come, train them, use those studios, and can churn out people who can give some news, which is something good for the country, for us, for all of us.
I think that is a very good suggestion you have given. Now, when you are talking about the Doordarshan and now my question to you is, do you think there is still some space left for public service television in the midst of private players, or it will not serve impartially due to overall control of the government?
It will not serve impartially due to the control of the government. If it is, there is a space, number one, sir, for public service television. There is 100% a space, right? But not under the control of the government. It has to be independent, and it has to be funded independently. It cannot, the funding cannot come with a string attached from the government that I give you so much, but you show this. No, it will not happen, which is happening now. Of course, now that they have everything is under the control of the government also, whatever you may call it, there is a separate director general for news. There is a separate, which never happened in the past. There was a DG for television, there was a DG. Now the news is a separate DG and all that. So I'm not going into that detail. As long as it's under control, public service television will not be there. It will be the television for the government of the day.
So according to you, the public television is the television of the government of the day.
No, it has to be independent of the government.
No, but right now it is the
At the moment,
television.
yes, because the government, because as I said, all Indian Information Service people are controlling it. They are the one who are saying that what should be shown, what should not be shown. Prasar Bharati is not saying it, if you ask me. Though technically it is under the umbrella of Prasar Bharati.
Okay. Nowadays we have seen two camps, I will say, in the news media. One is pro-government, another is anti-government. In common words, they say Godi media, or the others say that Lucian media, or some word they are using. Do you agree that these types of different views, not all different views, rather pro and anti, was going to harm the quality of news in long run, or even now they are harming the quality of news and the views, as you said, the views?
From day one, a journalist has to be impartial. You cannot have things which are pro-government or which are against government. No, you have to have something which is in between the line. I'll again quote the same example. If you are telling me that there is a strike happening in Air India and you are only showing me about the strike and not talking about the plight of the citizens, what is happening, you are just saying that yes, they are right because they have not been given provident fund, they have not given this, they have not given this. So I'm not understanding what is happening to the people at large. Or if you're only showing about people, well, they are going through this rough, the Air India is not at all bothered, then also I'm not right. I must, as a news person, I must give both the views to the people. Well, listen, they are right here, they are right here, partly wrong, partly right. You take a call. It is not happening. Either it is whatever media you are talking about that, or it is not that. That's why I'm not interested. That's why you have said people have stopped watching television. Now, whatever you are getting is through your social media only.
No, but as you also mentioned that the people wants to see some sensational thing. Now, sensational thing, it can be created, because you cannot have 24 hours sensations, and the media is 24/7. Earlier, the news timings were fixed, that only you will get the news at this time. Even the channel, one channel, whether it was a Z channel or it's a private channel, also they have a fixed time of the news. The rest time was entertainment. Do you think this separation of the news channel or creation of a 24/7 of news channel is creating the problem? And to create the news, they are manufacturing the news, good, bad, or ugly. What you say about this?
See, as I said, without any laws, without any do's and don'ts, these channels were asked to come in and they were asked to uplink from various places, right? Especially news. You didn't ask why All India Radio is only giving why radio news is not coming through private channels, because the government has burnt his hands. We have burnt, and we have had enough. And especially radio, I'm worried because it goes into deeper areas of the country where anything, if you say which is not correct, might create more harm than good. So as far as we are concerned, the good part, as I said, right now we forget television, because in another 5 years, 6 years, television news will be not there. At least it will not there that 10 o'clock you want to watch. You may watch views, you may watch documentary, you may watch current affairs, but news will be now all the time coming through you through the social media. Right. The good part is it'll be fast. It'll be immediate, as I said. But the bad part is accuracy. How accurate that news will be, I do not know. How much damage the immediacy will do to the accuracy, I don't know. So that is why the students, the people who are bringing this news, or the new generation of the people, they need to be taught that before you uplink anything, before you do anything, make sure that you are not making any mistake, or you are not hurting any sentiments, or you are not doing anything against the law. So they must know the law of the land also. Even the journalists must know what are the laws of the land. They should not, because in our case, I remember Doordarshan, anything related to neighboring countries, anything related to other things, we were told not to discuss these things for the simple reason, unintentionally you may do more harm than good. So the good and the bad part, as I said this, but the ugliest part which is now happening is the fake news part of it, which is very difficult, because by the time you tell it is a fake news, lot of us is lost, and sometimes people may not even know that it is fake. They will live with that news as a news.
You have mentioned about the radio.
Radio, yeah.
Government is not giving the radio news in the on the radio to the private players. It might be that the government of the day, whichever earlier also and the
Yeah.
present government
Yeah.
doesn't want to poison against them or give the, because if it will become in the like the private channels, though there will be definitely two lobbies, one will be for government and the other will be against government. And then because if you, as you said, there are lots of reach of the radio is still in those interior parts
In the
of the
rural
villages,
parts, yeah.
rural parts. So there they don't want that there somebody will be talking against the government. Do you think this is one of the reasons the government is not
No,
allowing
why? No, this is not one of the reason. I would say that, are you happy with the way that private news channels, television news channels are delivering news? As a citizen, are you happy? Give me an answer, straight answer, yes or no?
See,
No. Why I'm saying is
Dr. Sharma,
because what is the government? The government is made by us only. You and I are fed up with this television news the way it is coming. Without anything, without any understanding, radio can be better than this. So forget about talking about one party or a second party. You can create riots in the village. You can create so many things through wrong information. What happens to the fake news? Forget about government. What happened to a fake news of a radio which comes to the people and something starts happening? Who will stop it?
But Dr. Sharma, after all, the IT cells of all the big national parties are creating the fake news. A journalist, we are blaming journalists, we are blaming media, but we should understand there are IT cells which are totally uncontrolled,
So
which are totally on the, they are working a background, they are not coming in the front. Nobody knows who has created. They are the creator of the fake news.
See, this is not ethics. This is not correct. They are doing it till such time you don't bring. Chori kar rahe hain, jab pakde jayenge to sab chor hain.
No, but no, everybody knows there is IT cells.
No, but technically IT cell, they will not say we are doing like this. They will never come in front with this. That's why I said if you have
then why the parties require an IT cell?
Party requires an IT cell to tell stories like I tell stories. You can say that I am from my ex party. You can talk good things also. Why you talk about news only? There are so many things.
But everybody see, Dr. Sharma, we are in this world. We should not be in a fantasy land. We must understand why these IT cells. Who is creating the fake news?
But IT cell is like you are having your own machinery which is telling you what is good can be done. See, if there is a party which wants to run, other party is also not saying no to it. But are they creating havoc in the society?
Of course. Of course, they are creating havoc.
So you got your answer, then the radio should not come.
No.
Because of this only.
The thing is, see, ultimately, that is why I want to come to the end. Before that, I will definitely ask about your channel. But when the IT cell is creating this fake news, ultimately, if one particular media channel, news channel is not showing the news, which is very spicy news, can be, every day, so much spicy news. The other media channel is showing breaking news, this thing. Definitely, you are going to change the channel and you will see that spicy news. Everybody has to show. So ultimately, who is the feeder? The feeder is not the journalist, as you have mentioned, who are coming out from the school of journalism or who are coming. The feeder is the IT cells. They might not be a trained journalist. They might not be a qualified journalist. They might be any XYZ who is devoted to that particular party, any party, and their work is to create fake news and put it in the public domain. Do you agree?
No, fake news, per se fake news, I don't agree with it. Forget about who is making it. They are making anybody else. I don't believe in that. That is the problem, because you don't have stringent laws against fake news. You can't do anything about it. Again, the laws comes. You don't have rules, regulation for these things. It has opened up.
But we know that once we will have laws, it will be misused very much. And then against.
And what is happening now, you're happy with it. If you're happy with it, then let's live with it. I have no issue.
Okay. Now, before I will come to my final question, I would like to now know from you. You have recently started a YouTube channel called Kahaniyon Ka Anokha Andaz. It has picked up very fast, very, very interesting stories. Rather, I must compliment you. I had a media conference recently with a youth, and one of the youth quoted your story about the one of the story incident she has quoted, and I was very much pleasantly surprised. I was happy that at least some positiveness you are creating. Now, my two questions to you. First is, what is the success story of your channel? I know that you are a very experienced person, good orator, good thinker, good presenter. But after all, in this world, so many channels are there. What is your success story? And the second, I will ask afterwards. Yes, first you tell me your success story.
The first thing, Lalji, is that I thought there was some space of talking about value education. In my college days, and your college, I'm sure we used to have a subject moral science, where we would read in moral science, we both of us, whatever college school we had gone. And then I thought this particular generation is deprived of those moral sciences, though I never wanted to tell them, like, do this. So I said the best way is to tell them a story. Two, English, 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 English. The Hindi part of it was at least not coming down to this generation, though they are born in a family which is Hindi speaking. So I thought, let them also try and know a little Hindi. They will understand. And the best part is, I said, let me finish the story in 3 to 4 minutes, rather than the YouTube channel, where if you have seen, to hum aisa karte hain, to hum waisa karte hain, acha to aap aisa, and by the time you want to know what really happened, you are too bored and you just leave it. So, and I thought I will create in such a fashion that I will not let the viewer leave it, because it has to be one after the other incidents coming very fast. And of course, I had a knack of storytelling since the day one. When I used to watch a film and come out, then people would sit as students, friends of mine in the college, and say, "Yaar, uski kahani batao film ki." And I would narrate them as if the film is happening in front of them. And that is one of the success I feel. And secondly, some of the people who knew me, plus also I tried to bring in a lot of intros in it from people who matters. The idea is that I'm not only saying, they are also saying that this is something good. So maybe these are the reasons that it is picked up.
Okay, I must wish that your success story will become a really.
And also, last but not the least, I am also doing a lot of research, Lalji, lot of research.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get not story of a king and a queen, of an animal or something, but it's a large canvas. So I'm going deep into this. And
now my question too: are you planning to start a digital news channel also?
No, sir. No, sir. I had my innings. I played well. I made a lot of runs. Now I don't want to do that. And right now, whatever you are seeing in my channel, it's a cameraman. I am the cameraman. I am the anchor. I am the writer. I am the researcher. I am the photographer. I am putting up the lighting, and I am uploading it. I am the marketing guy. I am even ads are running. So it's a one-man show, and I'm happy with it.
Okay. All the best to you. In the end, now again, I'm coming to the main topic. What are your views regarding news channels? Are they good, bad, or ugly?
See, news per se is always good. News is never bad. It is always good. And you may have a bad news in the sense the news content, what you hear, may not be good for you or something, but how it is presented, how it is done, that matters. So as far as that is concerned, the tragedy is the carriage for these news channels are now the new media. And this new media carriage is free for all. So there is no restriction. There is no understanding what to send, what not to send. So my request to people is, you can upload anything at any given time, no doubt about it. But for God's sake, please respect the sentiments of the people. Do not create havoc. Do not send something which might create unrest in the society, unrest among the people with your just one mistake. And there is no need for it, because there is so much of content one can create. We have so much of cultural values with us. We have got so many things to tell people. Even in the news part, cultural element, if somebody takes up, we can give that. You don't have to be all the time talking politics of X or V. You can ignore them. And I think the best thing is, you don't have to erase a line, sir. You have to draw a bigger line in front of that if you want to make that line smaller.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Mukesh Sharma, for taking my straight questions. And I'm happy that you have also answered straightly without taking any excuses. It's a very, very a live session. I feel that our viewers are also enlightened. So viewers, you have seen that news, as our expert Dr. Mukesh Sharma has mentioned, that news contents are good. It all depends how you are presenting it. If you want to distort it, the facts, then the things can change. And he also advised to the journalists, young journalists, please see to it that if you are uploading anything, you should see it should not harm the sentiments of others. Otherwise, it will become ugly, which according to him, it's such a good thing. One should understand the news creating is a very, very pious work. One should understand like a social work. Thank you very much, Dr. Mukesh Sharma. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. But for last more than 1.5 months, we have started an evening program in Hindi, although few guests who are not understanding Hindi, they can speak in English also, about their achievements, because we are calling a guest who has achieved something in his life. So we ask them to narrate their own life story, their life journey. And today my chief guest is for the program Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. The chief guest is Mrs. Lata Goyal, founder director Raman Lal Shorawala Public School, Mathura. She will be giving her life story, how she started from her childhood and how she has reached on top. So please tune in today for Kal Aaj aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. Thank you very much, Dr. Mukesh Sharma, for giving such a enlightening views about today's topic, and I'm sure all our viewers are also enlightened and enriched in the knowledge what you have imparted. And all the best for your stories channel, and thank you all the viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.